DLs, I got a fun fact. Something you did not know about our one Kate Ruth Reeves.
Oh.
Did you know that Revsity was almost named Madeleine?
Who's Madeleine?
Who the fuck is Madeleine?
Yeah, that was almost my name.
Now, sorry, but can we just riff on Maddie Reeves?
Maddie Reeves,
You're
Char's
such-
cousin.
Yes, you're such a Maddie Reeves, you mad dog.
Mad dog. That's what you would have called me.
100p.
Matters.
Matters.
And then it would have been like.
You know what matters? Matters.
Yeah, then where would it have gone?
It don't matter. Oh, so many things.
Brain matter. Grey matter.
All of it.
Grey matter.
Oh, she's a rad dog, that mad dog.
Oh my
so
God.
many things.
Well, we could still be Revs. Just
Oh, absolutely.
Maddie Revs.
Barstool. That would have kept coming back. That's my nickname for Revs. For those who are new here in 2026. Also DLs. School goes back next week. Are we excited or devastated or relieved?
Who's devastated? Said no one ever.
I reckon there are some families out there who are having a lovely, jubbly holiday. I've got some friends who are skiing in foreign countries.
Congrats
And
to
I
them.
reckon a part of them, a small percentage of them, are like devastated that their holidays are about to end. I am not
Pour
on
one
this.
out for the 1% who are skiing and devastated that their kids are going back to school. This is not the podcast for them.
No, but I think it's the 0.01% who
Of
goes
that.
skiing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. Look, I'm quietly relieved.
Quietly,
Out loudly relieved.
openly relieved. Get those fuckers out of my hair. Back to school. Year 6, year 3, baby. I'm moving on up. Moving on up. You've got
She's moved.
You've got 2 at school.
I know, and I've got feelings around it.
Oh yeah. Well, those feelings will be fine.
I know. I've been
Sorry,
here before.
sorry. I'm not holding space.
It's all good. You
You've
do
got
you,
a
boo.
kindy starter.
I do. I have a kindy
But
starter.
is he even starting next week? They go for like half an hour, 1 day a week for like 10 years.
No, you're right.
Like,
You're absolutely right.
when does school actually start for the kindies?
They actually start at 10 a.m. on their
Oh.
first day back to give the other kids a chance to be crazy, reunite with all their frenzies,
Coddle City.
and then roll in Eagles and his little kindy crew.
Not so little. They're like 10 by now.
I'm excited and sad,
Yeah, I know. It's a big
devastated,
deal.
relieved. The thing I'm most relieved about is 1 pickup, 1 drop off. That
Oh.
feels huge. That's
Yes.
a life upgrade.
Bigger than the seatbelt at life upgrade.
Oh,
It is massive. You won't
Mate,
know yourself,
the
babe.
seatbelt upgrade for me is top tier.
You just wait.
Well, that was a milestone that I was like, I've arrived.
1 pickup, 1 drop off. You can't beat that. Nothing beats that. That is
Yeah, okay.
that is the
Pinnacle of parenting.
absolute parenting pinnacle.
Yeah. Should we get into the episode?
Definitely.
Maddie
Madeline.
Reeves.
We have 1,000 things to do, but we'd rather chat to you. With emails and meetings and husbands and kids, we don't have time for this. Just what you need, 2 basic bitches with a podcast.
Hello and welcome to We Don't Have Time for This. I'm your host, Gemma Peanut from the Gram, along with my co-host,
Madeleine. No, Kate Reeves. What were your backup names?
Naomi.
Naomi.
Not to be mispronounced
Naomi.
as Naomi. And when we moved to
Naomi.
Australia, because for
Who's Naomi?
it works, doesn't it? Who the fuck is Naomi? It's great.
That would have been a nightmare.
Well, when I was born, I lived in Thailand. My mum's English, my dad's Thai. We had no association with Australia.
No.
Whatsoever.
When your mum was naming you as a baby, she never would have thought, ooh, but when we moved to Australia in 11 years.
She'll be called Nasal,
Yeah.
which is what Revs and I have called people we know called
Revs and I is a
Naomi.
little stretch.
Hey, Nasal.
Jem called our friend Naomi
Nasal. It's a
Everyone else
great
called
name.
her Nay, including me.
Yes. I've got another friend called Renee and I call her Nizzle. Yeah, fizzle, nizzle, dizzle. It's great. It's fun.
This was me.
She got possessive.
Yes, I did.
Ah, look out.
You can't double handle a nickname, bro.
All right, she's mostly Nizzle.
Anyway,
it's all good.
Naomi.
Yeah, Naomi, which is lovely in an English accent. Oh, little Naomi.
I don't know if I've ever met a Naomi. I've met a Naomi or a Naomi or a Naomi.
A Naomi?
Yep.
Oh,
But never,
interesting.
ever have I met a Naomi.
Look, I love the name Naomi in general, but I think my mum would have been shocked by the change in pronunciation in the same way that in England it's always Megan.
Yeah.
And in Australia it's Megan.
Megan.
Yeah, very different.
But the Irish is Megan. And that's Closer than Australia.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, the Celtic is Megan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not Megan.
Well, maybe.
Or
Now you've said it.
or
that
Megan.
sounds- Megan.
I've met a Megan.
And Naomi. And
Naomi.
Megan.
Okay, can I just say something? I'm not dyslexic, but there are some names out there that make me become a dyslexic person.
Yeah, 100p.
I feel
Double L's, I's, and
Oh
yeah.
no, for
J's?
me, it's the Kirsty, Kirstin, Kirsten. Okay? It's that combination of 5.
Kirsty, Christy, Kirsten, Carsten.
Carsten. I really
Kirstin.
I can't if I meet a Kirsty or a Christy, and I've got a Kirsty friend. Love you. Shout out to Kirsty Doyle. I adore you.
What do you call Kirsty? Because you don't call her Kirsty.
No, I do. I actually do call her Kirsty.
Savage.
What do you mean?
No nickname?
I'm not calling her Kirstables. Kirstables.
No one asked you to.
That's affectionate for me.
Balls. Thirsty Kirsty.
Oh, that's a great one.
It's a good way of remembering it.
Yes. But like Revs was working with a real estate agent at one point.
Kristen.
Kristen.
No. Kirstin. No, what was it? Literally can't remember now.
This is what I mean. I cannot commit it to memory.
Kirsten.
Was it?
I don't know.
I thought it was Kristen.
No,
It was a stin, not an E. I remember that much. Anyway, for those of you who have any version of this name, I hope you're okay.
Yeah.
Because of fuckwits like me,
I know.
who can't remember. Like I do, I have to scan my
know.
brain. Kirsty, not Kirstin.
Yeah.
Not Christy.
No.
It's like Claudia and Claudia.
No.
Or
that's not a
Chloe
thing.
and Cleo. That's
Claudia and Claudia is not a thing here. No one's called Claudia.
I've
And if
met-
they're called Claudia, you remember because you're like, wow, Claudia. Not Claudia. I mean, you experienced this when you lived in LA when you had Gemma.
Oh yeah, it was called Hema.
Yeah, because that's the
Mexican
Hispanic version of
yeah.
Gemma is Hema.
It's
And
Hema.
so way more common, obviously, in LA.
And fun fact, Raffa in certain parts of the world is pronounced Haffa.
Haffa.
Mm.
Oh, beautiful.
I
I
know,
love that. That's
Haffa.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it's cute.
Well, Isla obviously is very common now, but when she was a baby, many a waiting room we had Isla.
Isla.
But that is the pronunciation, again, in, different parts of the world, just not in the Celtic part
Names
of
are
the world.
funny things, aren't
Funny
they?
fucking things.
Like Rebs and I, we have a girlfriend who has a Maya.
Cursed balls.
I wonder if Kirsty's listening to this being like, Jem's never called me cursed balls. Almost wish she did. No, she's not thinking. No
Babe,
one's thinking
no.
that.
You got there on your own. No one wants to be called anything balls. No one.
Just
You even call Buster balls.
yeah,
And he ain't got none.
I know. That's the irony.
Ballless Buster.
Come on, join the joke. Get amongst it.
I don't need to. You're having fun on your
I
own.
am. It's true.
Yeah, you never do a basic dog ever. No, you'd prefer to add bag than dog. B-bag.
B-bag. Yeah, Buster balls. Something about balls, Just to pivot for a second. or
Please.
Tangent. Rebs is relieved.
Please do.
Pipe down, Maddie. My favourite activity to do with your kids is to ask them to do an impersonation of you or your partner.
Oh, fun.
Have you ever done this with your kids, Rebs? Oh my God.
Well, no, but they do it.
No, but I mean like it's a game.
Like a game, yeah. Fun.
So I woke up one morning and mornings with my kids have become my most treasured thing ever in bed. They're cute. They're kind of waking up. They want my attention. We don't have screens, so they can't like run. They don't want to run up. They actually want to hang with me. That's another hack.
No. Okay.
What?
What podcast are you on today? No one's coming here looking for ways to get their kids to hang with them.
Just me?
What's happened to you? Come back to us. You're like, mornings are my most treasured time with my children. We don't have screens. And they just love hanging with me. That's a hack. What's happened? Who brought trad Gemma in here?
We all know I have a whimsy streak.
You do have a whimsy streak.
We all know. I'm a hopeless sentimentalist at heart.
I'm a collector of memories.
Yes, 'tis me.
I feel like she's got another name. She's not Jem
It's
Schmem.
Naomi.
It's Naomi.
Naomi.
It's Naomi. Because Jem Schmem, who started this podcast with me, hated her fucking kids.
Oh.
Naomi is a punish. Naomi makes us feel bad about our choices.
Oh.
Anyway, as you were saying, glorious whimsical morning with Nora Jones playing and your sunrise views. Yep.
Always.
Continue. No screens.
No screens.
Playing parlor games with your perfect children.
Fuck off. All right. You're taking it too far. I hate Naomi.
Thank you. I'm just trying to give you a perspective.
Well, now I don't want to tell this story, Revs.
Please do. Continue.
Raffa was keen for a drama moment. Okay, so the day started with her being like, I'm going to do a play. I'm going to perform a play for you and Iggy in bed. And I was like, amazing. And she did this whole thing and I was like, oh my God, I love this. And then I seized the moment and I said, Raf, can you do an impersonation of Daddy? It was so intensely spot on.
Oh, well, first of all, she has his face on her face.
But also just very interesting to see what
Key
they
features.
absorb. Yes. As
And?
like defining things
my
about
God.
their dad. Oh, I filmed it. I'm not going to share it all because some of it's very, you had to be there
Yep,
in
sure.
jokes for
Yep.
our family. But the core of it
Naomi.
is Naomi back.
Got in jokes. Do you make those in jokes in your family bath?
Fuck you, Red. She's trying to derail me, DLs.
You're doing it to yourself. You're an easy mark. Anyway, you had to be there, guys. You wouldn't get it. But anyway, please share some of
I'm insufferable. Like, genuinely giving myself the ick as we record this episode.
It's not you, it's Naomi.
It's fine. We'll blame Naomi.
Naomi. Is-
So first thing Raffa did, which she performed beautifully, was coffee. And then she's like at the coffee machine and she's being all hectic with it, like grind the get the
Like a
coffee
real
machine.
addict,
Yeah, like
yeah.
a real addict. And then she like downs it and then she walks away with her imaginary coffee mug and goes, oh no, dishwasher. And then he goes, Chummy, put your things in the dishwasher. Because Daddy always puts things in. And a part of me, I was like, tick. Like she's
Great.
seeing a man
Yeah.
participate in domestic labor. Low bar, guys, low bar. The next thing she does is she goes over to my dresser and starts typing on it like it's a desk. And she's going, kids, I'm working. Raffa, shh, I'm on a call. I'm on a call. So
Had to
spot
be
on.
there. Yeah, so he said it's
I
coffee.
haven't shared
He
the
went
had
to
to
work.
be there.
He went to what? Now we need to know one. Come on, give us one.
No, because I'm going to make everyone vomit in a bucket.
All right, go on.
Every time Hubs comes home from work, and this I omitted this because this was the first thing that Raffa did. He walks in the door and he goes, fee, fi, fo, fum. And then the kids scatter and hide. And then he goes,
Now that's a hack.
and then he goes, I smell the blood of Rooney children. And then they play hide and seek.
Fun.
It's fun, but also I get it. For some families, it's like ick.
No, Jem, that's great because they run and
They
hide.
scatter. That's scram parenting,
Yeah,
guys.
that's scram parenting that aligns with the brand. And I think that's a hack, not how to make your kids hang out with you at 5 a.m.
Well, I sit corrected.
Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to ask my kids to impersonate me and everyone in our family. That sounds like a really fun Christmas game that could lead to big family fights and ruptures. Imagine if they start impersonating the boomers and the boomers get upset.
Oh my gosh. You got to be
Could
prepared
happen.
for a humble slice of pie.
Yeah.
So when Raf impersonated me,
Yes, what did we
hers
get?
was matcha. I need my matcha. And she did this.
So she ran with the coffee matcha
She
theme.
really did. Because clearly it's like the start of our day. That's
Yeah.
what she's absorbing. And then the humbling part for me was, who left a wet towel on my bed? Who left a wet towel on the floor? Who didn't put their rubbish in the bin? Whose Yakult bottle is that? And I was like, yeah, these are the things I yell every fucking morning.
Do you always start with who? Knowing farewell who?
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta be a bit
That's
passag.
That's a chummy special.
Yeah.
To just frame it as a question.
Yeah.
Why did you feel the need to leave that cupboard door open?
Yeah, passag. That's my middle name,
Were
babe.
you hoping to?
Did you think did you think that was gonna clean itself?
I love it.
There's a sock fairy who's gonna clean and pick up those fucking socks.
I love it. Well, as long as she didn't just put up her phone and just stay on her phone to impersonate you.
To my relief,
Yeah.
there was no phone
like
shame.
it's not
I
good
was
phone.
waiting for her to like doom scroll, do an impersonation of doom scroll. But no, for me, I got off lightly. It was yelling about wet towels on the bed, which is still my pet peeve.
And
which
fair.
Yeah, but it's also something my husband said he wouldn't do in our wedding vows.
Oh,
Yes.
breaking vows.
Yeah.
Come on.
Didn't close the cupboard doors. He said he would. I think he needed to add the word try. I promised to try and hang up my towels.
I'm on everyone about towels at the moment too. They do, especially this time of year. Wet towels are fucking everywhere.
How are they supposed to dry?
I think you got to make them wash them. They have to see
Yes.
the whole journey because they go, no big deal. I remember my mum cracking it over the Wet-X. We always had a Wet-X growing up. The dishcloth.
Oh,
What do
yeah.
you call
like the
yours?
blue.
Well, everyone does different things. Some
Okay.
people have that blue
Yeah.
that stuff on a roll. Some people
Yeah.
have a Wet-X. Some people have a sponge. Some people have whatever. Growing up, we always had a Wet-X. My mum liked those. And she would go mental if there was a soggy Wet-X left in the sink.
Oh, as in someone hasn't wrung it out.
Don't wrung it out and then hang
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
It's the same as a wet towel, right? Same journey.
Yeah.
Just like doesn't dry, it gets gross, stinky, all the things. She would flip out. And I remember thinking, oh my God, get a life. I remember saying to her at one point, is it the end of the world? Can you imagine if your teenager said, is it the end of the world to you about a wet towel? You'd fucking crack it. And I think she did go, yes, Kate, actually, it is the end of the world or something like that. And I would say the same thing now if someone said that to me.
Yes, I confess my 7-year-old's new line is that a big problem or a small problem, Mum?
Where did your 7-year-old learn that?
Her teacher at school.
Oh, I was gonna
Yeah. I said, where have you got that from?
I thought, you know what we thought? You go, yeah, she's
No.
parroting me.
No.
Be like, no.
No, her teacher at school. She goes, is that a big problem or a small problem?
And what do you say?
Over the towels. I'm like, it's a small problem, but it's death by 1,000 small problems.
Yeah, death by 1,000 revs.
I nearly called her Revs. Let me scold you, child, and call you Revs. Anyway, I would love to see what Isla and Teddy do and then get them to impersonate each other.
Oh, yeah,
Also
good.
a fun layer.
That's fun.
Sticking to the theme of my kids, do you know what I don't have time for?
What don't you have time for?
But I had to make time for it. We finally had the birds and the bees chat.
Ah!
And do you know what? I was ready.
I feel like you've had versions of this before.
Yes, but light. Birds and the bees light. You know, I've had the version, which I'm sure many DLs will relate, where the kids come to you about, where are babies made? And you kind of arm yourself. You're like, all right, here's the chat. Because, you know,
and you had that video, that
yes,
episode.
and all the studies say it's better for them to learn about it from home
100%.
than to hear about it in the playground and be educated about it not fully correctly by their peers. Although I've got a friend whose strategy, and she was very open about this. She's like, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but basically I sent her a voice note and I said, just letting you know that I had the birds and the bees chat with Raf, and she goes to school with her son. And I said, so apologies in advance if she happens to say to your son, did you know a penis and a vagina fit together like a puzzle?
If you're lucky.
Yes. And she said, I shit you not, she goes,
That many square peg round hole situations.
she goes, do you know what? I'm actually fine for him to learn sex ed from Raf, and then he can come home and fact check with me. And I was like, great strategy.
Don't let Raf know that because she'll be running a seminar.
Oh, mate. Won't she just? Anyway, again, whimsical morning with my children in bed.
Sorry, my brain. I just had a daydream of Raf selling online courses.
It'll happen.
Enrollment's open on the 11th of November for my Birds and the Bees online chat.
You can see it,
Sign
right?
up here.
Yeah, I had to give her a big chat about now when you go back to school this year. So this is how it happened. She woke up and she goes, Mummy, I had a dream that you had a baby in your tummy and I got a little sister. And I went, that's a lovely dream. I'm going to tell you you're dreaming because that's never going to happen. And she instantly went, I don't understand. How do babies get in your belly? Now, for context DLs, as Revs mentioned, I've had versions of this come up. Now, the version the DLs might be able to relate to is when your kids ask you and then you start to talk about it and then they go, cool, mum, and then walk off.
Yeah.
Like you don't really have their attention.
Yeah.
Now, this morning was particularly different because Raffa was fully locked in. Like follow-up questions akimbo, and then Iggy joined in, and then next minute I've got both of them and they want to know every
Hanging
single
off every word.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
with bated breath. So of course you say the classic, well, men carry sperm, women carry eggs, and then one sperm gets into the egg and makes a baby. And then of course
Did you tell Raf the sperm that wins?
I didn't lean into a competitive streak. And then of course she's like, but where is it? And I was like, okay, well the sperm lives in the testicles and you know the eggs live inside the women. It's called the ovaries. And then she said, okay, but like how does the sperm get in, like where do they meet, you know, all those questions. And then that's when I had to say, well, a penis, if a woman allows to enter the vagina, like fits like a puzzle. And then I had to keep sort of reiterating, and this is something only adults do, because she's the kind of kid who's like, oh, well, is this? Okay.
I'd like a baby.
Yeah, totally.
It'll be fine.
And she went, the classic, what every kid says, so Daddy did that to you 2 times? You know, and I was like, yeah, he did. And then she said,
Except, Rav, your sperm and egg caught the bus.
I haven't told her that part yet. Just starting with
Start
the foundational.
Start fresh.
Yeah, start with that.
Yep.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
And then straight away she goes, we need to get Daddy. We need to get Daddy right now. And I think he should do it because I want a baby sister. And I was like, we're not going to do that.
Not a family fun activity.
No, not like bath time. Not doing that. And she was like, why? And I was like, because we don't want any more babies. And also this is something, as I said, just for adults, not for kids.
Yeah.
Let me say that 10 more times because
Yes.
you are going back to school. I was stressing about it.
Fair.
And then, you know, and again, this is almost like crack for my kids because they don't get screen time in the morning. I was like, how about as a special treat, not only am I going to play something for you on my laptop, we're going to go on YouTube, which is their ultimate crack. And they're like, yes. And then I just searched sex and fertilization for kids, and then an amazing assortment of educational videos with really good.
The DLs are going to want the link.
Sure.
Yeah.
But some of them have really good graphics that look real. So it's not abstract. Because
Yeah.
that's what I didn't want. Because there
Yeah.
was some like animation and I was like, nah. Give me the CGI shit.
Yeah,
like where
yeah.
the sperm looks like legit sperm. And the thing that they could not get over was that even after the cells dividing and multiplying, that when Raf was like, so how big is that? And I was like a speck of dust.
Yeah.
And then when the baby forms, and then I said, that's like the size of a sesame seed. And she was like, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I
Because
know.
obviously in the YouTube video, you're zoomed in,
Yeah.
you know, and you're seeing its arms and legs and all that cool, really cool stuff. It was an amazing morning and I was ready for it.
Yeah, nice.
And then interestingly, like I ran into another mum and I was like, I just had the birds and bee chat. And she was like, oh God, what did you say?
Yeah.
And I was like, the truth.
Yeah.
And she was like, how did you word it? And I said, I just used anatomy and anatomical language. Penis, vagina, uterus, testicles. Like I'm not going to beat around it. And I could tell she was like, yep, that's what we do now. But I
Yeah.
don't want to, you know, because
Yeah.
it's uncomfortable. But the problem is,
Well, can I give the perspective of older kids that like we're the ones making it uncomfortable.
I agree.
They genuinely just want to know the science.
Yes.
They have not attached anything about sex to it yet. Like that they are really thinking mechanically because my kids are now at the age where they're like, sex is a thing, but why? But they kind of get it. Like they've got an instinct of what it's about, but why would you do that? Is it just to make babies? Well, then why is it in all these movies? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not seeing movies with sex scenes, but like when people kiss in a movie and then like they get what's inferred.
Yeah.
And they're connecting. They're like, okay, sex is a thing that's not just for baby making. They're starting to get that, and they're like 8 and 11.
Yeah, right.
You know,
so they understand it's something adults do for fun as well.
Yeah, they wouldn't probably. I don't know. They're sort of just working that out. We haven't
Okay.
had enough of those chats yet.
They'll come.
Yeah, but like the first ones with younger kids,
Yes.
they're not attaching sex and shame and all that stuff. They're kind of like, wow,
They're fascinated. Although Raf was a little bit like, Daddy did that. Like, you know, there was a layer of embarrassment. I think because she has a brother and she knows he has a penis, they have baths together.
Yeah.
That I think in her mind she was imagining it. And and for her, she felt a little
Well, and I
like
think-
giggly about it.
And any child, any age would understand, oh, but that's my body. Like,
Yes.
inside my body.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's more what it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And also, I think it's really important that when we talk about genitals and reproductive organs, that I think if you get uncomfortable talking about it, you're kind of subliminally communicating to the kids that they're second-rate organs. You know what I mean?
and that there's
we
shame
don't
involved.
Exactly. That we
Yes.
don't talk about them like we do an elbow or a shoulder or a nose. And that's what I was telling myself because I felt uncomfortable. You know, I'm a millennial mum where you didn't.
And a Catholic to boot.
Oh God, what a combo. So I'm working really hard to like normalize it in the exact same way my mum normalized that there are people in the world who are gay.
Yeah.
from a really young age, and you look to your parents' reaction
100%.
on how you should feel about these things. And I remember, because I hadn't had exposure to gay couples as a young kid, and my mum was like, oh, my best friend Annie in the UK, she's gay. You've met Annie. You know, she's got a partner and her name's, you know, whatever. And I was like, and I remember feeling how unusual.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
not
yeah.
witnessed this, but you know, and I had all those feelings, but then I was like, but Mum's so chill about it.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not a big deal.
Exactly.
And that's how we need to present when we have these conversations with our kids. I remember a girlfriend telling me that sex was explained to her as a truck entering a loading dock. And she was like, and I was so confused.
So confused. I have to get a truck license.
Why go metaphor and abstraction?
I know.
You know, with this kind of stuff. Like, it's just their little brains are desperately trying to seek out the truth of it. So
As they should.
what are we so afraid of?
I know. I think I've said this on the pod before, but I've got a friend whose dad explained it to him as a man flies a plane over a field and drops his crops, and he was like, I have to fly a plane. Like, he took it so literally.
How
So stressful.
Reverse of giant truck into a loading
I need
dock.
to hire a loading dock
Yeah.
space.
We're past that point, guys. But I will say, you never know when the chat's going to come. Like,
No.
I was genuinely not even thinking about. I
Yeah.
knew I wanted to wait for the kids to come to me because
Yeah.
I didn't want them to be like, oh, Mum sat me down for an educational moment. I wanted to capitalize on their
You'll
interests.
have to do that later when you need to start talking to them about safety and
Totally.
all that stuff.
Totally.
Yeah.
But for this particular one, I was
Yeah.
waiting for it. And I was ready, but I was nervous because I think in my head, I was like, this is
stuff
it.
it up.
Don't fuck it up,
Fuck
Jem.
this up, Jem. Don't scar them. Get it
Yeah,
right.
get it
no.
right.
Well, I'm proud of you.
Thanks,
That's
babe.
great.
Well, I feel very lucky to have you, who's a couple of years ahead of me, to share your experience. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, okay, I've heard how Rev's had the chat with her kids. I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm armed.
I get two very different. I get a very like Isla gets very embarrassed, and Ted's very wide-eyed and interested.
Yeah.
and just like keen for all the details and information, and would
Yeah.
keep talking about. Whereas Isla's like, okay, let's change the subject.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay, thank you. Yep, I get it.
Yep,
All right,
I get it.
Hey, Mum, what have I got on tomorrow? You know, like she's just like, yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't like kissing if we're watching a TV show together. They start kissing. She's like, blah, blah, and like does this whole performance thing where I'm like, come on. And I always say, they're the characters are in love.
That's it.
It's okay, that's it. And she's like,
No big deal. Such a visceral reaction.
I know. I'm like, it's okay,
Oh.
babe. I'm like, do you do that sound if I'm not watching with you? I think she's just like, you know,
Yeah.
it's natural
It
to
is-
not want to chat about this stuff with your
With
parents.
your parents. Totally. And we forget that.
I know.
Like
yeah.
parents, we're uncool. We're annoying.
Not cool at all. But have you heard the 10 before 10? And I mean, this is not quite your kid's age, but I should bring it up now because it is adjacent.
Yeah.
10 chats about porn before they're 10.
Wow.
And I know
mean,
this is confronting.
I endorse this
Because like
fully.
under 10 is little. You feel like if you're going to talk to them about it, it might wreck their innocence or something. But this is the advice now. 10 chats before they're 10. So that if and when, not even if, when they see it, they can come to you with questions or they know what's going on and they're not going to have like an absolute fight or flight, scary response.
Okay,
yeah.
so Ted's 8. Where are you at with
4.
your 10? Okay, and were
6
they
to go.
initiated by him or by you?
The first one was him and that is what kicked me off into researching.
Was that because he asked about cum?
No, no, that was... This is when he asked about what's OF.
Oh,
And I was like, okay.
Okay.
We need to have a chat. I've done 4 chats and yeah, I'm like ticking them off. I missed it. I missed the deadline with Isla. I definitely did not have 10 chats with her about it before 10, but I'm trying to sort of like make it up and get them in there. I think
Okay.
I've had about 6 with Isla.
And can I
But
ask?
Ted's the one I'm worried about because I feel like boys are more, and this might be a gross generalization. I'm not, of course, I don't mean every single time, but I'm just more worried about boys sharing this kind of material and how boys, you know, get together and, you know, things get disseminated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds awful, but I've got friends whose son was in year 7 and some year 10 kids showed him porn on a bus.
I don't want us to clutch our pearls. We don't need to get scared. Like
Yeah.
we have to get really
but you
realistic about this.
totally, I
It is
agree.
going to happen. It's happening. Like you can. I know this might be hard if you're sitting there with your first baby and you're breastfeeding them and you're like, what? You're 7, and
It
it
feels
sounds awful.
inconceivable.
But we all have to wise up because if we don't, if we try and bury this or go, oh my god, that's not my kid. I'm not going to let that happen. It's going to happen. they're going to see porn. I want you to all take yourselves back to your childhood. You were exposed to something that was
At some point.
like, I remember I had a friend down the road who showed me her dad's, like, he had this explicit tie collection. So he had these like novelty ties that had like dicks on them and stuff.
Yeah.
And she like took me into her parents' walk-in wardrobe, and she was like, "Do you want to see something crazy?" And I was like, "Sure." And she pulled out this like from the bottom of this bottom drawer, like his like 8
Explicit
silk
ties.
that had prints of dicks on them. And I remember being like, whoa. And it was shocking, whatever. But I'm sure everyone's they saw dirty magazines, or you saw the VHS at a sleepover.
yeah.
Like it's been happening since time immemorial. It's happening now. It's just so much more accessible. Kids have phones. They're on buses. They're going wherever. It happens. So it's going to happen, and you have to be ready and prepared.
Okay, so for the sake of DLs and myself,
Yeah.
how are you having this chat? Like, can you put words around it
Sure.
for us?
Well, I'm just having it in exactly the same way you had the sex chat,
Yeah.
just facts.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, but give
obviously-
us some language to cling to. Like, are you calling it adult play?
No,
are you
I'm
calling it
not calling adult-
performative?
No,
Like, what it?
when we're talking about porn, you
Yep.
have to say it's not real sex. I don't want to position myself as an expert. 'cause
Okay, that's
there's
okay.
a lot
You're
of
not.
resources out there, and maybe we can find some and share across platforms, because there is actually now a lot of resources. But the advice is it's not sex, like, because it's not real. I mean, it is real sex.
Yeah.
But like the people, just like in a movie, yes, they're real human beings, and they're playing a character, and it's a particular performance of a sex act. It's not, you're not required to do any of those things.
Yeah.
And that when you decide to have sex one day, it's completely up to you and your partner, making sure there's consent. You have chats about consent, and that real sex in the real world doesn't look like porn, just like real life doesn't look like a movie.
Totally.
So that's kind of the advice. It's just because the sort of lost generation that weren't having these chats when porn was coming up, the trauma has been like, do I have to choke my
Yeah.
girlfriend? Do I have to do I have to dirty talk? Is anal absolutely on the table? Like all these things they didn't have the chats about.
Yeah.
So it's just like, having those conversations. It's so full on. I know.
Well, I thought I might ask Chatty Cathy.
Yeah.
Because I've asked Chatty Cathy before to explain some tricky things in an age-appropriate way, and she's done good.
She's come
so
through.
how do I explain what porn is to my 8-year-old? All right, it says here, when explaining what porn is to an 8-year-old, the goal is to be honest but age-appropriate, giving enough information to satisfy curiosity and keeping them safe without overwhelming or over-sexualizing the topic.
Yeah.
Here are a few ways to approach it, depending on your style. I love this. Simple, clear explanation. Porn is when people make videos or pictures that show private adult things like sex. It's made for grown-ups, not kids, because it can be confusing or upsetting to see. If you ever come across something like that, you can always come and tell me you're not in trouble.
Yes. Very important.
Love that.
That's great.
Another option, if they've already seen or heard something.
Devastating.
I love you,
but
Chatty
yes.
Cathy. Sometimes you might see pictures or videos online of people without clothes doing things that feel private. That's called porn. It's meant for adults, but sometimes it pops up by accident. It's okay if you saw it. It just means we can talk about it and make sure you understand what it is. Do you have any questions?
Amazing.
Values-based approach. Interesting. Porn shows people's bodies and sex, but it's not a good way to learn about love and respect. Real relationships are rooted in kindness, trust, and care, not what you see in those kinds of videos. I
good.
like everything.
All of
You
that.
kind of want to do an amalgamation of all of it. And lastly, Chatty Cathy's offered up a version if you want to focus on digital safety. There are videos and pictures online that aren't right for kids to see. They show private parts or people doing adult things, like having sex. If anything like that pops up, just close it and tell me. You will not be in trouble. I just want to help keep you safe online.
Yeah.
All of it's relevant. All of it's important. I found that very helpful. I'm actually glad you brought this up, Revs. It's timely for me because Raph's turning 8 this year.
Yeah.
And I
A
feel
lot
like
of chats
a lot of chats.
in
And
2 years.
if we got to have 10 chats under 10, I got to get them in there. I'm not going to lie. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm sweating at the idea of it because it does feel like, oh, it's a breaking of their innocence.
I
But
know, but one thing the experts say is no one's going to, I think people get scared they're going to pique a curiosity
Yeah.
and they're going to want to pull that thread. But the experts say that's not how that age brain works. You are so much better to arm your kids
100p.
with the knowledge than happen to them with absolutely no idea what is going on. And they're not going to go, oh, I'm going to go look that up. They're not. Like that's what they say is not, good, not going to happen. I mean, that's the fear, right?
I must admit, porn was never a conversation I had with my parents.
Neither,
I had body
never.
books that talked about sex in the context of making babies. And I do sort of remember this idea of, and adults do it for fun as well, as like a footnote,
Yeah.
but not being the focus. And I remember that first exposure to porn. It's burnt into my memory.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And it felt like there was a secret adult world that my parents had shielded me from. Like I remember thinking, no one's told me about, is this what people do?
Yeah.
This is hectic. But I also couldn't stop watching.
Yeah,
Because
of
I was
course.
absolutely like,
It would be the same with
it was
violent material.
totally,
Anything
it's
that's
mesmerizing.
like-
it's like confronting.
yeah.
Anyway.
Ugh.
Ay.
Parenting, fucking hard, man.
It sure is. It's a tough gig, but we got to do it.
Do you know what I don't have time for?
What don't you have time for?
People not being transparent about the setup of a celebratory event.
Oh, spill the tea.
Well, I'm just going to use one of producer Kate's stories, okay, that she brought. And I'm like, this is so interesting. We have to unpack this. So producer Kate was invited to a baby shower and it was all set up like invitation, lovely, from a particular person in the, I was going to say bride, in the mum-to-be's life.
It's adjacent.
Yeah. In the mum-to-be's life, here's the date. Here's where it is. It's a champagne high tea situation. Very lovely in a lovely venue for a second baby.
Was this organized by the mum-to-be or a friend of
A family member of the mum-to-be.
Okay, interesting.
You're cordially invited to this event at this place at this time. Please RSVP, blah, blah, blah. Now, what would you gather from that? I would gather I'm invited. That's lovely. I'm a guest and I'll bring a gift. That would be my assumption from that.
And I'll formally RSVP, yes.
Yep.
And I'll be there.
And I'll put it in my diary and
Got
I'll
the time
turn
and the
up,
place,
and I'll turn up with a gift. Even though it's a second baby, I've got thoughts about that. But anyway.
which KD did.
Yes, she did. Now, imagine then you get a text message 2 nights before the event, 2 nights, saying, hi, everyone. So excited to celebrate mum-to-be. Here's my bank details. It is $250 a head for the champagne baby shower. Can't wait, blah, blah, blah. How would you feel about that?
Instantly complicated feelings.
Yes.
Hoodwinked
I
comes
would
to
be
mind.
pissed off, especially
Yeah.
because you've already bought a gift by then, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not cool.
Not
Not cool. You got to
cool.
be transparent about this stuff from the head.
From the absolute jump. From the if there's an invitation,
Yes.
especially.
Yeah, like we would love to celebrate blah, blah, blah. If you'd like to be a part of this celebrating her, I've booked this place. It's $250 per head.
Yeah, and that
kindly
includes this.
RSVP. Totally.
Let me know if you want to join in.
Yeah, here are my bank account deeds.
And
you
then
can't drop
start a new group for the people who are coming.
that. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's absurd.
Wild, right? I mean, look, I will say, not a big fan of baby showers generally.
Why?
It's the same reason I don't love hens. I mean, I love celebrating my people. I love the group aspect of things. I love getting together. I think we should absolutely celebrate milestones. I've been on the record about
100p.
life is full of obligatory awful things. We've got to make time for the fun things. So it's not that. It's just the way it's become one of those things similar to weddings where people think you have to do it all a certain way.
Yep.
And there's ridiculously expensive. And then there's an expectation on not just the guests, but the person being celebrated to sort of perform,
Yeah.
a particular character. Like at the hens, it's like, I've got to get my cute little must be white outfit and I've got to sit there and cop a striptease. And
I think we can all agree that weddings and hens are a particular season of life where you're still that innocent late 20-something, early 30-something-year-old where you've just been this independent person your whole life, full autonomy, living your life, doing your thing, studying, maybe your vocation, like you've stepped into that world. But a wedding and a hens is like your first organized event.
organized fun.
Well, really think about
Yeah.
maybe you had your 21st, but that's so lo-fi,
And maybe
right?
your parents did it for you or whatever.
Yeah, it's a party.
Yeah.
Whereas there's formalities that
Yeah.
have seemed to come weddings since the dawn of whatever, there's always been formalities, but now baby showers have expectations of certain formalities as well.
Yeah.
Because some people love games. Now, someone who is famously a game narc, like I'm obsessed with organized fun and I like everyone to follow the rules and participate. I don't like baby shower games.
Okay.
Personally.
Talk it up. Go on.
I don't know why. I find them lame. Baby
showers are lame.
Well, I don't think baby showers are lame. I've been to many a great baby shower, but it's more like a fun catch up and a hang, and there's no expectations to smell the poo in the nappy and identify if it's a Snickers or a Mars bar or whatever. Like,
so lame.
It's not for me. But if it's
who's it for?
Well, I do think as a society we indulge the person we're celebrating with whatever it is that they want to do, and if they want games, I will get on board.
Sure. No. All right.
What?
No, if the person you're celebrating wants the thing, of course you all rally or whatever.
But isn't that what we do? Isn't that the same as hens?
No, because
we all rally.
Yeah, of course we do, and I've had some really fun nights at hens or whatever, but I've also been to, I would say, way more hens where it's been like, wow, I've spent $1,200 on this whole exercise and that was the worst night ever. You know, I don't need to do multiple events and eat this terrible set menu at this awful place and then go in this weird car to this very unfun activity and then onto a club and then wake up with a hangover. Do you know what I mean? Like, even in that era, it was all very like, we have to do all these, like, there's all these things. Whereas, like, even if you think about ways you actually just want to have fun, there are so many ways you could celebrate people and do these things. Anyway, my point though, in fact, my sister has a friend and I really respect this, where she's like, I don't do baby showers. Thank you so much for inviting me, but I don't go to baby showers. She just has a line and she's like, I'm not going to do it.
Why?
She thinks they're lame and performative and expensive. Like, no, she's like, no, I'm not going to them. I wish I could say that about like kids' parties. You can't.
I don't know. Okay. I've got feels about that.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't do baby showers. Like, okay, on one hand, I'll admit I respect the boundary.
Yeah. Like, do you want someone at your baby shower who really doesn't like the event and isn't going to you know?
Sorry, this is where I think we've lost our way a little bit as a society. Like, whatever your feelings are about the event, fuck the event. It's about the people. And we're also forgetting, like, I think every invitation is an honor. Like, it's an honor that you were considered and thought of and, you know, to come and celebrate an occasion. And sometimes I think personal selfishness gets weaponized as holding a boundary.
Well, yeah.
Especially in 2025.
Well,
and
that person eventually just won't get invited to things if it's personal selfishness.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But I think I don't know, like, I feel like, and I've said this many times on the pod, I've just really struggled to find ways to articulate it. There's been an overcorrection with the millennial gen where we're like these people pleasers and we're told to do things a certain way and show up and smile and say your P's and Q's and send the thank you card. There's now like this kind of corrosive attitude to like, no, that's not for me. So I'm not. No. And then we sort of put on a pedestal this kind of like, I respect the holding of boundaries, but we've still got to be community members. I feel like we're losing the village because people now have these hard lines and no, and I'm not doing that anymore because I did that for years. And I personally feel sad about that. So I'm on the mic to say that I'm a yes and person. I'm up for anything, even if it's a bit lame or a bit cringe. I'm a bit lame and a bit cringe.
Yeah.
And I would hope that the people around me are kind of up for it because they love me.
I think this is where you have to diversify your different groups of friends. You can't, if you invite me to game night, it's no one's having fun. I'm not having fun. You don't want me there. Doesn't mean we aren't a community. We don't have our things that we love to do together. I think it's just like, I've got a couple of friends.
I know, but I've got to pause you there because game night is so niche.
Yeah.
Milestones like a baby shower, that's not niche. That's like a wedding. It's inclusive of it's like your people.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I kind of get the game night thing. I don't want you there anyway.
No,
I know,
of course you don't want me there. How unfun for you.
I don't know. Can we talk back for a second very quickly about the baby shower thing?
Yeah.
Because money, I I find a really interesting
and you can't
thing.
ignore it in these situations.
No, you can't.
And I think that's why some people go, I'm not doing a baby shower, because it's the outlaying of money, and then everyone has a fucking baby. And then what? We're doing second babies now. And if you're not into it, it's not like a 40th or a wedding, which are supposed to be these kind of one-off things. Like the baby thing, it can start to feel like it gets out of control.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We all know what it's like when a maid of honor goes fucking rogue.
Oh, yeah.
And is just really fucking keen and wants to do multiple events and
they're
all these extra things.
Lacking complete awareness.
Awareness.
About people's different life budgets.
That's
you know?
right. Budgets, and not just budgets, like people's time and what one particular event should have as surrounding events and accoutrements, I think milestones are different. And I know, like, first babies, absolutely. You want your people to celebrate.
Absolutely.
And like milestone birthdays, absolutely. But this kind of like a more arranged event when there's invitations and costs and things, you have to be able to read the room. And I think if people don't want to come, fine. I would always be like, fine.
Absolutely.
Don't come. I don't want anyone at anything I'm doing that doesn't want to be there. I will find different community and different little, I don't know. I've got a couple of friends that are my silly lunch friends, because I, every now and then, not all the time, can't afford it, but I love to just have a silly lunch where it's like, let's get the $200 bottle of amazing Blanc de Blanc, and let's get 12 oysters, and let's order whatever we want, and let's stay here for 6 hours, and then let's get Aperol Spritz, and
and then let's do dinner.
Now, I would never do that with you, because you'd be like, mate, I'm not going to spend this money on food. This is ridiculous. That's not what I'm going to do with you for fun. For you, I'm like, let's go see the 11 a.m. session of Wicked, and then let's get Thai and go back to your house and sit on the couch and talk about it for 5 hours.
And sit in our pajamas.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I would do with you.
Yeah.
But I'm calling Ali to go have that silly lunch, because she's on that vibe, and I can read that that's a way me and her can connect and have fun, and no one's put out. I think with these events, because you're cobbling together people from different Venn diagrams in someone's life, you have to be so upfront, and you're either inviting everyone and hosting, or you're saying, here's what I'm going to organize, here's what it costs, here's what's involved. And then you have to let the cards fall. Like
Absolutely.
no one should be punished for not coming. You know what I mean? It should just be like everyone who wants to be there
This
is
is why
there.
the financial side of things is really tricky and complicated amongst friendship groups. And my opinion is you kind of work to the person who's on the tightest budget.
Yeah.
So that they can feel included.
Okay, but what about the bride who has no kids yet, who's got a really huge job, who's throwing a lavish wedding that everyone's invited to, and she wants a fancy hen at Cafe Sydney with like black tie dress code, and then we all stay in a hotel, or we all go away for a weekend. Do you cater to the person with the smallest budget then, or do you cater to the bride?
Well, I think you then have to, as the bride, be okay with people saying, I can't afford to do that. I think that is the most empowering thing ever, is when you can own that. We're in that era with friends who are on varying budgets, and there'll be a dinner organized, and a particular friend might say, hey guys, I've used my dinners out with friends budget for the month, so I can't come. And I'm like, oh, that's a shame. But like, good on you.
Yeah,
for
I agree.
Holding that boundary.
But do you
and
still
declaring
have that feeling around that with we're losing community, or we're not like...
No, because...
Or do you go, I'd really love to see that person. I'm going to go for a walk with them or take a coffee around.
Everything to do with losing community is that attitude of, no, I don't do that as a category, or I hold a line on this. It's hard to explain, because for me it's a specific attitude, and I can see it. It's rooted in millennial trauma and forced behavior.
And not knowing how to gently hold a boundary. You don't know how.
You go to the extreme. We've never done it. And
Yeah.
we did a show last year called Who Is She? And it really is about like discovering who you are and not kind of compromising on who you are. But where I think it becomes challenging is when we go, that situation makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like it, so I'm not doing it. We still need to show up for people and do things that maybe we're not fully comfortable and we don't fully like, and it's not for our benefit to gain something from it or to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like we're losing, and I hope that doesn't get lost.
But I feel like the easiest way to find that boundary edge is to slap a dollar value on something.
Sure.
Then you're not I don't get anything from this. I don't. Then you have to go, well, I can't.
I feel like we're talking about two different things.
Yeah.
The dollar value thing is, for me, a whole different subject. That's about not reading the room, giving people opportunity of an out. It's like not being basic considerate
Yeah.
about people's situations.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is a separate thing. It's an attitude.
I think for some people, if they do have more of that, like, I don't want to overuse the word trauma, but
Yeah.
if they have been a people pleaser and certain situations really are difficult for them emotionally, it can feel to them like a financial burden. And then they have to have a strong boundary. And yeah, it might come across as corrosive, but it might feel to them like they can't afford to be in that situation again because of what it does to them emotionally. I think there's a similarity. It's just like harder to, people respect a financial boundary more because they go, oh, okay.
Well, I think you put it perfectly. I mean, if something is an emotional cost for you, well, then people will stop inviting you.
Yeah.
And if that's what you're okay with,
Yeah.
then that's fine.
Yeah.
Then that's your comfort level. And if that was always the goal, then that's always the goal. But there's always going to be another side to a relationship, because we are talking
Of course.
relationships, where someone else is like sad that you've pulled away. It's like, what we talk about on the pod all the time, what so many DLs feel is the complications of friendships as we enter different eras of seasons of life.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to have an attitude about, I don't know, someone throwing a 40th or whatever milestone or event, because those things can disappear in a second.
100%.
But I'm a frother. I'm a celebrator. I'm a yes and girl. I fully respect that not everyone is like that.
Yeah.
And if other people are like, it's not for me, that's okay. And as you said, you diversify your friendship groups, and you know that you have your friends, for, not to use friends for a reason, season, or a lifetime. But yeah, you have those friends that you do the walk and the coffee and a stroll catch up.
Yeah.
Or you have friends who you go away with.
Yeah.
That's another category of
Yeah.
friends. People you travel well
Yeah,
with.
I've got friends that I will have the best night with ever. I'm never going away with them for a weekend.
100p.
Too much of me, too much of them. It's not going to work. But that doesn't mean I don't ever want to see them or need to quit the
Exactly.
friendship. You just have to sort of
Exactly.
figure out where it lives.
Where it lives.
Yeah.
And sometimes you've got kid dynamics that don't work
No,
to go away
devastating.
together, and then sometimes you find that sweet spot and then it becomes an annual thing. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
We don't need to get mad at people if they're not in certain categories of your life,
Yeah.
of how you want to enjoy life
Yeah.
together as a community.
So to help me understand, so you're pro boundary in that way, but is it the attitude applied to
it's
it?
an attitude, and maybe because I've heard, I don't know, there's an acidicness to it. Maybe I feel porous to it because I hear people say like, oh, another 40th. And I'm just like, well, then it's not for you.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Are you kidding? I'm loving 40th season. It's so much more fun than, as you say, those like when we were little baby giraffes trying to organize hens and things, knowing nothing about all the politics of these things. I think 40th is like, it really is what they say about when you get to this mature stage of life. Someone DM'd me when I was turning 40 and was like, oh my God, 40ths are like 20s, but with your own money.
100%.
You can decide what you want to do in your way.
Yeah. But there is still an element, like the bride, where people are indulging whoever's birthday it is.
Yeah.
And we're showing up and we're on board for their vibe train with what they want to do. It's like how
Unless they slap $250 on it 2 nights before.
well, that's when it...
And then we're not showing up and indulging.
And then everyone gets salty
Yeah.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I appreciate that there are some people who love fancy dress as a category. There's also a lot of people who fucking hate it.
Yeah, I love
And
it.
you can tell because they turn up and they've sort of made minimal effort. And that's okay.
Let them.
Let them.
Let them miss
Agreed.
out, in my humble opinion. But that's how people might think of me with games, Like you're like, oh, you don't want to, oh, you're missing out. And I'm like, I'm cool to just be over here.
Totally.
Like I think, yeah.
Or some people love speeches. Like your 40th, people
Love it.
who love speeches would have loved that. And maybe there's people who are like, this is a lot of speeches.
Yeah.
I just want to chat to my mates.
Yeah.
It's all there for
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah.
But I still think show up.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like a fancy dress party, make the minimal effort and still show up. Don't bring an attitude of like,
I know, but the people who bring an attitude, they're not going to keep getting invited. Natural selection will sort that out.
It sure will.
Because I'm not going to invite someone who's going to bring an attitude, I'm just not. Well, I might once, but then I won't do that again. you know?
Or you won't know about it,
Exactly.
you know?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Why? Do I not know about people not liking my speeches?
No, God, no. I think your people know you.
I think maybe I sold that chick who says no baby showers in a more too corrosive a way. She's not making TikTok reels about it. Do you know what I mean? She's just someone who says, no, I don't do that. And her friends know it. And they leave her out of the group chats and the admin.
Yeah.
And she's happy with that. And it's all very transparent. Like, I don't like huge dinner parties over a certain number, you know, but I still want to be invited, but I'll make my own choice.
Do you know what? This is something I didn't know about myself either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I went to a lunch that was meant to be 8, but ended up being 5. Because, you know, life and people have kids and blah, 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 blah. And actually, what I didn't appreciate is that when you have 4 or 5, you can all be in one conversation.
Yeah.
But when you have more than 6, the
Splits
table
the
is
table.
split. Yes. Yeah, I was reflecting with a girlfriend and I was like, do you remember last time we caught up at a dinner, we sat at opposite ends and she was like, yeah, I remember being like, hi, Jem, bye, Jem.
Yeah,
and we never
see each other.
even exchanged a conversation. We both felt really sad about that. And it gave me food for thought. Like
But some people love 6 couples, 12 people flitting around, changing seats. Like they love the hum and the vibe. It's like horses for courses.
so interesting,
you
isn't
know?
it?
Yeah.
So my mum, I'm always fascinated by this because obviously for us, we're not doing dinner parties with couples. We've always got the kids.
Yeah.
No one can afford a sitter. So it's always like, you know, casual barbecue and someone's changing a nappy or whatever, trying to get their kids out of wet togs or put on fucking goggles for the 100th time to get them right.
yeah.
But like my mum is in this dinner party era.
Oh, we'll be there soon.
Do you reckon?
We're not that far away.
Interesting.
I'm so close to being able to leave my kids at home for a few
Oh,
hours.
wow.
You know, like
Yeah.
we'll be there soon.
Yeah.
It's coming around the bend.
But I
It's
love
not, we
it.
don't have to wait till we're 70 to have dinner parties. Like the kids will be in early high school.
But you've made me think I want to ask my mum, like, is there a magic number? Like,
Well,
do
only
you
you
have
will know what works for you and your hosting style, girlfriend.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I've never really thought about it.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet.
You know, we've all got a friend who loves a boat party. We've all got a friend.
Revs has said that with this look in her eye of,
I
and
have
I
too.
hate boat parties.
I don't like boat parties. And actually, I got invited to a boat birthday party recently and politely declined because I'm like, know thyself. And it's not that I'm not showing up for her. I'll show up for her in another way. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to check out of the friendship, but I was like, oh, I'm not going to be any fun. That's not for me.
I'm just interested, genuinely.
Yeah.
What don't you like about a boat party?
Now, there's boats and boats, right? If someone were to invite...
there?
Well, yes, because if someone's going to invite me out on their boat for a day with 2 other people, I'm in. Let's go. Similar to a small dinner.
Okay.
A party on a boat, you know, where some people really like to party and it's...
And you're trapped.
And you can't
Do you
leave.
feel trapped? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And
Yeah,
sometimes
yeah,
I don't want to leave. Sometimes I'm the last to leave, but I need the option.
That's fair.
Because I don't know, you know?
Yeah.
And there's also...
I love a boat party.
Yes, and I've been on boat parties that I like, but you know what I'm talking about. The one where
Yeah.
it's like this much ahead and there's like this kind of booze.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather go to a restaurant where I can leave.
I'd rather go to someone's house.
Someone's house.
That's
Yeah,
my-
always rather go to
That's
someone's
always
house.
my
But then you're
preference.
putting hosting on someone, and then the same people are always you know, I became the fucking host for a while. You were always hosting.
I'm so tired.
See
This chat.
what?
It's like, yes, all those things. The
Yeah.
mental gymnastics of everything. It makes me want to have a fucking nap.
Yeah, being a human being with relationships is very difficult. But like this is what I mean. I think boundaries are okay because I think we should not be forcing everyone to just show up for everything all the time because then it's not genuine.
Yeah.
Show up to the things that make a lot of sense for you. And then it means more when people show up for you. For me, it means more to me that people show up for me when they want to, not because I've put something on, you know?
Note to self, don't throw a boat party if you want Revs there.
No.
That's what, like, if my 40th
Oh my
was a
God,
boat
you're-
party, you
no.
would come.
Yes, I would.
Exactly.
But that'd be different. You don't do drugs. You don't like kick on till 5 a.m. It's different. That's why I'm saying you're allowed to have a boundary with certain vibes of certain events, I think.
Okay. Yeah,
And it
fair.
doesn't, and I think financial makes it really clear and easy. But I think there's other
Yeah.
factors that you are definitely allowed to have a boundary without being acidic and rejecting community.
Yeah.
I think there can be more nuance to it.
I've got a collection of friends who love live music, and they're the friends who I'm always like, hey, this gig's on, and they're going to come.
Yeah.
There's that category. I also have friends who love musicals. I have
Yes.
friends who definitely don't.
Exactly.
And then friends who
And would you say to, I don't know, your husband doesn't want to go to a musical? Would you be like, show up for me? No, you wouldn't. You'd call me or you'd call
Of course
Liv,
I wouldn't.
you
That's
know?
reading the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's all right.
But again, cinema, live music, not the same as life milestones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big birthdays, babies being born, whatever.
Yeah.
Different category.
Yeah.
Hit me with your not spawn.
I gave these to my kids for Christmas. And now that we're going back into term 1, look, soccer is not a summer sport, but that's okay. You might be playing futsal or summer soccer. They are called Shin Defenders. Now, what is the biggest bugbear if you have kids who play soccer or any sport with a shin guard?
Just trying to find the fucking shin guard.
Where are they?
Where are they? They're
Where are
like
they?
socks.
It's hard enough finding the, sports socks, whatever. These are socks with the shin guard in them.
so clever.
Now, obviously, this doesn't help if you have a uniform.
Question
Yes.
for you. Do you wash them?
Mhm.
So that the hard bit that protects the shin can go through a washing
Yes,
machine.
delicates bag.
Oh,
Chuck them in.
hack.
I do the
2 in 1.
I don't think you need the delicates bag. I just do the delicates bag because I always wash sports stuff in delicates bags so I can find it again.
Smart.
It's my way of like packing cubing my washing.
Because the turnover
Yeah.
is so high.
I know. I even have
It's
2
like
different
wash,
coloured
grab,
delicates
wash, grab.
bags, one for Teddy, one for Isla, and I
Yeah,
put
yeah.
their thing. Yeah, it's just
That
easier.
is a great not spawn.
Yes.
Lots of parents with kids who play soccer.
Shin Defenders. They're on Amazon. I got mine off Amazon, I think. I will put a link in the show notes.
Side note, I bought my kids like a basic bitch, the standard shins with the the Velcro strap. Very fiddly.
Yeah, the Velcro straps suck. I've
They're
had them in
expensive.
years. Very.
I was shooketh.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I feel naive. Like I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I didn't know sports gear was expensive.
Oh my God. Sport is crazy expensive. But also I was thinking, I don't know, this might help with sensory stuff as well. If you're, 'cause a lot of kids don't like the straps. So then they just put the ones in their socks, which we've always had, just the
Yeah.
loose shin guards
Yeah.
that go in the front of the socks. But then you lose those or
Easily.
the dog chews them up.
Oh,
and then
God.
And yeah, they were like $50.
Yeah.
But these anyway, these are only like $15 and they're all in one.
Can I do a quick piggyback of a not spawn I shared eons ago? But we've got some new listeners. If you do have a sensory kid with socks, I had that with both my children, particularly Raffa. Jettproof socks are amazing. They're seamless socks. They're also tight fitting because I think with some kids, if you put a loose sock on, it crumples under
Yeah.
the feet and gets
Yeah.
into the grooves of their toes and they get very upset about
Yes.
it. Very triggering.
Yes.
So get Jettproof socks. They
Yeah.
are worth every cent.
Nice.
But that is not my not spawn.
Hit me with your not spawn.
My not spawn is a beauty product,
Yes.
particularly for your mane. Nay. Now, everyone's heard of Orbe, right? If you haven't heard of Orbe,
I thought it was a Reba.
Ariba. Orbe have a famous texturizing spray. It's very fancy, very expensive. Everybody wants it. No one can afford it. Anyway, this is it's not the dupe, but it is a texturizing spray that I would say is as good as Orbe, but
Ooh.
half the price.
Oh, hit me.
So the product is called Style on Steroids. It is a texture and finishing spray.
From Colourwow, the brand.
Colourwow, the brand.
Okay.
It is, instead of being $80,
Okay.
which is the Orbe one, it's $40. Or on special at Adore Beauty, $36.
Pretty good.
It's a huge can, so it'll last you
Nice.
forever.
Oh.
And can I say, as a fine hair girly
Preach.
who wants volume, this is it. This is going
Okay.
to do it.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's so good. And
I
it
need
feels, and you feel the grit in your hands. It's
Yep.
not fiddly, it's spray, you're done. Out the door.
I wish dry shampoo came in a much bigger can. Like the good stuff.
Yes, I agree. Like a jumbo.
Oh,
they
it's just
don't,
over
do
so
they?
soon.
What's your dry shampoo go-to
I like
brand?
the fancy chlorine one.
Chlorine.
Chlorine.
Chlorine. Oh, chlorine. With a K.
And it's whenever it's on special at Coles or Woolies, I just like stock up because it is, for me, it's just the best, and I use it so often.
I use the basic bitch Batiste.
Yeah, it's okay.
That's from
It'll
Coles.
get it done, but
Yeah.
the chlorine, like you have to
It
use
holds it?
less, and it really works, and it'll last for a couple of days.
Oh my God, that's epic.
Because my hair just gets because it's so fine.
Yeah.
I could I should wash it every day. Don't want
Jeez.
to. So yeah, the chlorine one's good. And I find it doesn't build up on my scalp as much.
Okay. The
Yeah.
Batiste one, I reckon, has a little
does.
bit of build up. It's
Yeah.
still good though.
Yeah,
And
it's
I've got
great.
a little travel size one.
Yeah, but I want a jumbo motherfucker.
100p. Well, DLs, that brings us to the end of a very long and juicy episode. We hope you enjoyed having us in your ears. We've got a little bit of news for you.
It's so fun. I can't wait for you guys to experience this.
We're launching something new. Revsy,
Yes.
tell the DLs.
Well, we retired Watch Party because only 10 of you were listening. And and we have decided to replace it with something we are so fucking excited about. So every now and then we will get a DM from a DL who's like, look, I don't even know why I'm telling you this, but like I have to tell you what happened to me. It's not quite a bestie hotline because they don't want advice. They just want to share with the besties this wild story. So we are launching as part of More Time once a month on the DL.
OTDL.
OTDL, which is salacious, wild, you will not believe jaw off the floor stories from real DLs chatting with me and Jem. They call in completely anonymously and tell us their story and we interview them. You can be one actually. If you have a crazy wild story that you want to share with me and Jem and really hash it out, like we want to get in all the details. We're going to ask you.
We're going to tease them out.
We're like, what did you do then? And then what did she say? Now, I would do this. Did you do that? Like it's a full interview from me and Jem. You can go to wedon'thavetimeforthis.com and submit your On the DL story.
And on the down low, while we're here, our very first guest, Revs and I met
Yep.
while we were on tour.
We won't say where because it's completely anonymous.
Yep. And she shared this story with us at the meet and greet. And Revs and I were jaws on the floor, shooketh.
And we had many follow-up questions.
so many.
Yeah.
So many. DLs, you're going to die. And there you have it, DLs. As always, we'll be back in your ears bright and early on Friday with a Bestie Hotline.
We sure will. We hope you are surviving the end of the month and all geared up, ready for back to school. We've got this, guys. Let's do this year together. DLs unite. All for one, one for all.
We love you. Oh, Madeleine Reeves. We love you.
Bye-bye. Bye. Naomi.